Okay, there's YouTube. Hello, hello. Give me. Okay, let's see. Get a D-Live and Rimmel in here, and we'll be good to go. Finally. Just moving at a snail's pace today. Oh my goodness gracious! All right, good. I think we're good. Yes, finally good. Beautiful. All right. Let me get things cooking here. Imagine we got a lot to get to. So we better get to the getting. Okay. Ooh. Good. All right, let's see here. Ben Bergquam in Baltimore. What are he doing up in Baltimore? Oh, they got some ice stuff going on up there. I didn't know that.
Excuse me, why are you touching me?
Asking you to.
Yeah, but you don't have a right to touch me.
Everyone is leaving.
Right, and I'm leaving with everyone.
Go this way. It is time to go.
I got it. Wait a second. So this is what happens in Baltimore. This is what. Whoa! Why is nobody else being treated like this? Excuse me, you're breaking my. Why is nobody else being treated like this?
We got it. Everyone.
Sir, did you authorize this? Did you authorize them to put hands on us? Sir?
This would be a great lawsuit for y'all.
Did you authorize them to put hands on us? Ma'am, unreasonable. Unreasonable.
I'm mad at you.
Why?
Don't fucking record me.
Unbelievable.
Don't
This is what
fucking
happens
record
in
me.
America.
I told you that I have them because they are not supposed to record. Now they got a lawsuit.
No, you have a lawsuit for touching us.
No, and it's
You
no
have this is
lawsuit.
a
Shit,
public.
this
This is
shit.
a public forum,
been here
and
You
you violate.
can't sue someone for recording you in a public space, you fucking idiot.
Violated our First Amendment right, and they shut the meeting
Like, these people are just so. Ugh.
down simply to remove us from the
I
meeting.
have to live near these people.
You're not supposed to
Now
be
they're going to
here.
start the meeting
Around
back
them.
up.
Interact with them. It's disgusting.
Be in here.
Without us
They're ridiculous.
in there.
Who invited you?
I don't understand where they come from. How they get this way.
I thought no one's illegal. No one is illegal.
You is.
No one is.
Out of my building!
Wow. This
Because
is
I asked you.
this is a
Oh, she axed him. Oh,
public forum.
well, why didn't she say so? Now that you mentioned, all right, bye.
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am.
You nicely.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's
Let's
legal.
go.
That doesn't mean it's legal.
There's the police right here.
Yeah, you're not even police.
trespassing.
No, this is a public forum.
Let's stop.
How am I
Once you're
trespassing?
told to leave, you have to leave.
Based on what?
Because I don't know.
Yeah, this is Baltimore in a nutshell.
You can't just make up laws. You can't just make up rules.
This is Baltimore in a nutshell. You got Baltimore PD
That's enough.
on display.
I thought
Right
nobody's
here.
illegal. This is unconstitutional.
Oh, they don't even know what that means. They don't. That is so far above their IQ pay grade. It's not even funny.
Forum, we're in here recording. They put hands on us. We didn't say a word. They put hands on us and dragged us out that building. It's all on.
We have it on camera.
All on.
Yeah, you asked us to leave, but it's a
Violation
public
of my
it's a
First
public
Amendment and my
forum.
civil rights.
We were
All right.
Insane. Wow. Surprised it's taken people this long to find the gem that is Baltimore. I hope they stay. I hope Ben stays because He needs a little cleaning up. Needs a little attention. It's disgusting. Meanwhile, AG Keith Ellison met with Somali fraudsters under FBI investigation to obtain campaign donations in exchange for getting the money flowing back to the Somali group. Whoa, shit. Only matter of time. Ellison's going to get arrested. It's coming. And that choo-choo train left the station a long time ago. Promise you. They've been after him for a while. He's a fucking piece of shit. He's a real dirtbag.
And a Fox News alert also in Minnesota. The convicted ringleader of one of the state's biggest fraud schemes is speaking to Fox News from behind bars. Now, she believes that the scam was no surprise to local Democratic leaders, and she's naming names. She spoke to Alexis McAdams.
Yeah, Amy Bach.
Hi, Alexis.
Hey, Dana. Yeah, so everywhere you look in the state of Minnesota, right, there seems to be another fraud scam. So this one involves Amy Bach. She's a Minnesota woman convicted of fraud for taking taxpayer money that was meant to feed hungry kids. But listen to this. Bach tells me the real issue here is the state of Minnesota, which she says kept giving scammers your taxpayer money even after they were flagged as fraudsters.
I have to believe that the governor's office and Keith Ellison's office were aware of this. They've said they were involved in helping the FBI. They've said they were made aware. But apparently I'm scary, so they couldn't do anything.
So Bach
FBI,
ran this
they've said they
nonprofit
were made
called Feeding
aware.
Our Future. You might have heard of it. It was one of dozens convicted in this $250 million scam. You can see her mugshot there. Prosecutors say this group set up sham restaurants. They pretended they were making these meals. They got paid by the state for those meals, but they just pocketed the cash. Bach, who's looking at 30 years behind bars, tells me the state signed off on those businesses, not her.
It all went through a process. They were all approved. They were all paid by the state, yet all the fingers are being pointed at me.
And it's not just Bach. Whistleblowers told a congressional committee Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Attorney General Keith Ellison there ignored warnings for years as millions of dollars and millions were stolen on their watch. Congress is investigating a long list of massive fraud schemes in the state. It's hard to keep up. Prosecutors say it's led to at least $9 billion in fraud, Dana, and counting. Congress also asking why the Attorney General there would meet with a group of Somali fraudsters, which were under FBI investigation in 2021. The group can be heard in an audio clip given to us by Bach's lawyer offering to donate to his campaign if he can help them get their funding flowing again. Ellison denies any wrongdoing here. He slammed Bach in a statement to Fox, calling her a liar and manipulator, adding now she's on a media tour to deflect her guilt onto others instead of finally taking responsibility for this fraud scheme that she
That's rich.
ran. So
That's rich, says the guy on a media tour trying to deflect his guilt onto others instead of finally taking responsibility for the fraud scheme that he ran.
finally taking responsibility.
Cannot wait to see him cuffed. Oh, that'll be a good day. Journalist discovers residential home after residential home is being used as a fake business to bring over thousands of foreigners on H-1B visas. Here's the scam. There's no business. They're creating fake businesses at their home address and posting fake jobs as loopholes to bring over all their family members and friends into America. This is what the Indians do. This is what the Somalians do. This is how they all do it.
I just have some questions about
They all know how the scam works at this point.
H-1B visa workers that you have here. Quibbitz Technology.
Can I call cops?
So are the workers in here?
Yeah, of course it's Indian. Fucking Indians. Every time.
If somebody is knocking on my door and then they are like threatening me.
I'm not threatening you, sir.
Please, can you help me?
I was just asking if you had ever met the person who lives here.
Help you what? Help you what? Help you not commit the fraud you committed?
Can you tell me what you've seen? that she's seen some shady stuff go down and she has a family and she doesn't want to be involved. So whatever is happening really stinks.
If you thought Somalian daycare fraud was a problem, it turns out that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole new problem that it turns out is taking tens of thousands of jobs away from Americans and changing our communities forever that you probably haven't even thought of. I'm talking about H-1B visas. See, it's not just illegal immigration that's the problem. It's actually the legal immigration system. People are using it, exploiting it, and rigging the game in their favor.
Bingo.
We've just uncovered a scheme where thousands of foreigners are being brought into this country, imported here, using the laws already on the books and using phony businesses and these like shell companies which sponsor them for visas. Check this out.
Oh, and real ones too, by the way. They have gotten filthy, stinking rich doing this. Running, oh yeah, all those hotels that used to be hotels and motels used to be run by, you know, regular people from Americans who'd been here for generations. Yeah, they're all run by Indians now. And they all employ Indians strictly and only. No one else. Well, maybe come back to that. That is longer, but it looks pretty interesting. All right, let me see what Miss Steph has here. This fine morning, what do we got? What do we got? Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! We got lots. That's good. Okay, come on. There we go. President's scheduled today, 1:30 p.m., participating in a print interview in the Oval Office. Signing congressional bills 3 p.m., 4:30 p.m., participating in a meeting with the Commissioner of the U.S. Social Security Administration. And then participating in policy time, whatever that is. Minneapolis, oh, great. They're trying to keep JD Vance awake. They believe that JD Vance could be staying at this hotel, so they're banging on their pots and pans. Trump says, what a great trip to Davos it was. So many things accomplished, including the framework of a deal with NATO on Greenland. Also, the Board of Peace. Excuse me. Wow, make America great again. Oh, and then there's Carney, this idiot. Just got disinvited from the Board of Peace. What a moron. Dear Prime Minister Carney, please let this letter serve to represent that the Board of Peace is withdrawing its invitation to you regarding Canada's joining what will be the most prestigious board of leaders ever assembled at any time. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Yeah, Carney's made clear where his loyalties lie. I would hate to be a Canadian right now. U.S. House passes government funding bill, no shutdowns. Senate must pass it, send it to Trump's desk.
On this vote, the yeas are 341 and the nays are 88. The bill is passed without objection.
All right. Passed.
On this vote, the yeas.
All right. Joint venture. TikTok USDS has officially been formed to acquire TikTok's U.S. assets and has announced its leadership team. TikTok U.S. Data Security. That's what that stands for. Okay. Oh, sorry, Bobo. You got bunked. You okay? All right. Interesting. There we go. Look at the storm coming in.
Winter is here, and it takes cold weather to talk about a big winter system like this, and we have plenty of cold air out there. These are your feels-like temperatures this morning. Negative 44 degrees in Minneapolis, negative 25 degrees in Chicago. The cold air is in place, and that's going to settle south. You look at the national radar right now, looking fairly clear. We're waiting on this energy to shoot out of the southwest. You see that moisture? That is going to start to work across the country. It's going to interact with that cold air, and when it does so, suddenly you're seeing a huge swath of the country under some sort of winter weather advisory from New Mexico and Texas, taking you all the way up into New England. This is going to run us into Monday ultimately, but we're beginning with that system over portions of Texas. This is all of the ice, and I do think this is maybe the most dangerous part of this entire system. You talk about a quarter inch of ice, that's enough to start to bring down power lines, bring down trees, but we could see in some cases ice to 3/4 of an inch, up to an inch. That will cause widespread power outages. You're going to see that from Texas getting into Arkansas, getting into Mississippi, and then ultimately even getting into portions of the mid-Atlantic, all areas where you could see the heaviest icing. And as a result, that is going to have widespread power outages, maybe up towards Nashville, over towards Dallas. Big swaths of the country here in the south, and with all of that really cold air, you could be seeing no power and days of cold temperatures. Certainly a tough situation. And then on top of that, just to the north, you start to look at where the snow is going to fall. These pink colors, in some cases, those darker pinks, 8 to 12 inches of snow. It's these purple colors where you start to see the even bigger snowfall totals. That's getting along the I-95 corridor, so D.C., New York, up towards Boston. I think widespread in those areas, at least 8 inches, but a foot is not out of the question. And some of these isolated areas will pretty easily be surpassing a foot of total snow. Again, that snow getting up in that part of the country, that is really targeting Sunday and then leading into Monday morning. So this is going to be a weather system that impacts so many folks.
All right. Well, this ought to be fun. Are you ready, Bobo? This is going to be a crazy one. All right.
This is going to be a big, impactful event. I mean, I was looking at our weather.gov website, and 2,000 miles of watches and warnings. It's just absolutely incredible. Wow. More than half the country is going to experience winter weather. So not much is going to change. There's small details, how much snow, how much ice, a little movement north and south. But the big takeaway for the public is you got to be ready. This is a big, impactful storm, three-pronged, right? You're going to have the cold air coming in that's going to last for more than a week. You're going to have the snow, 8 to 12 inches, if not more in some places. And the devastating, catastrophic in some areas, ice that could knock out power, knock down power lines, trees, and that's a prolonged event and a dangerous event. So air travel, ground travel, a big impact, that's not going to change. That's going to happen.
Ken, what's your advice to people who might be thinking about, should I go to work on Monday? Do we send the kids to school on Monday, or school districts that are watching? What's your advice for if someone has something planned, a meeting? Give us give us some of your advice, please.
I love that question. And it's because everyone's thinking this, right? Like, what can I do? Can I travel? The big thing is just stay off the roads. I mean, listen to the local officials is the big thing. I mean, there's, check on each other. There's warming shelters. Local officials are setting up, different resources for people. But the big thing is listen to local officials. If schools are closed, stay home, stay put, because it's not just the snow. In some places, it's the snow and it'll be sleet and ice. We're going to have large areas of sleet, making travel absolutely hazardous. So the big thing is, stay home, have supplies, and be ready.
So the maps we're looking at show the storm's movement eastward as it comes from the west towards the East Coast. And from what I see, I mean, if you're all the way from Charleston up north of New York, you're in a bullseye right there.
Yeah, absolute bullseye. And it's interesting, the track makes a difference. I mean, these small movements in any of the parameters, right? The cold air or the low pressure coming out of the desert Southwest, or even the moisture. We have a warm area of moisture coming up about 10 to 12,000 feet. What that means is those are the areas that we can see where you could get that freezing rain and that dangerous freezing rain area. So we've actually thrown everything at this at NOAA. We have an aircraft that went out to the Pacific to see how strong the low is out in the Pacific and the desert Southwest it moves across. And the Gulf of America, we have another aircraft out there looking at how much moisture. We've thrown everything into this forecast to try to pinpoint those danger areas. So, yeah, looking at that bullseye you mentioned, look, the bullseye in the Northeast, the bullseye Oklahoma, all the way towards portions of Tennessee, Kentucky, any one of these areas, Arkansas could see some of that ice and snow. Just the expanse, 2,000 miles. I mean, it's just an absolutely huge storm.
You know, it's so weird. In the South, they're not used to it. I remember going to the Super Bowl in Dallas, and it was just a little bit of ice, and it was cataclysmic. They just couldn't handle it. But give this to people in Buffalo, that's cold any other day almost. So in the big picture, you worry about the grid. What should we, I mean, is there anything that could be done now to prepare cities and protect cities, make sure that power grid is viable?
I think a lot of it is just the public being ready, right? There's going to be areas that you can't help it. I mean, it's hard to protect power lines from trees that fall, or power lines that fall from a ½ inch to an inch of ice. And at first that doesn't seem like much, right? A ½ inch or an inch, that is an incredible amount of weight on a power line. So the advice to everybody is, you know, have ways to be able to protect yourselves if you lose power. How do you keep warm? How do you have food? What do you do? But one thing I do want to mention, I was Hurricane Center director, and I've seen this so many times, I see it now. Please, everybody, just reminding everybody to be careful with using generators.
Okay. U.S. withdraws from WHO yesterday. Yep. Big deal. Very good. Trump just mocked the environmental insurrectionists. All. Record cold wave expected to hit 40 states. Rarely seen anything like it before. Could the environmental insurrectionists please explain whatever happened to global warming? Yeah. Well, it became climate change. Because they just couldn't make up their minds. House Republicans barely defeat Venezuela war powers resolution to check Trump's military actions. That's shut down. Good. Oh, Trump took questions on the way back from Davos last night, huh? I missed that. Maybe we'll come back to that if we run out of material here. We tag that. Ilhan
reported having a negative net worth in 2019. Back in
no more.
2019, her household income, her household net worth has gone up from $0 to $30 million, and the value of her husband's company, Roselake Capital, has gone from some small amount of money up to $25 million. So apparently, it really does pay to get into politics.
Well, I don't know what she's doing, but I suspect that it's not legal. Who knows? You don't see that kind of change. I mean, she reported on her disclosures around here about a $65,000 net worth just a couple of years back. And now, like you point out, Charlie, she's reporting it's $30 million. Look, Ilhan Omar is a hateful, racist anti-Semite who goes on national TV and plays the victim and goes to the University of Minnesota campus and essentially encourages violence on Jewish students. This needs to be investigated. She was right at the center of the Somali fraudster operation called Feeding Our Future, the $250 million fraud case, largest pandemic fraud case in the country. Those are her people, and they're the ones that donated to her campaign. Right. So.
Okay. J6 cop triggered by a female reporter. Oh, great.
Officer.
Oh, yeah, Fanone.
Fanone. How are you today?
Oh, I'm great.
What happened in there?
What are you talking about?
That confrontation.
Jack Smith testified about how he had proof beyond a reasonable doubt that Donald Trump incited, orchestrated, and funded the insurrection at the Capitol on January 6, 2021.
It seemed like there was a fight in there?
No, there was no fight.
Is it true, Officer Fanone, that you turned off your own body camera on January 6th?
No.
I saw your body cam. You turned it off yourself. You were playing dead. I saw your body cam footage.
You're a fucking
What am I?
right-wing conspiracy theorist.
I saw you turn off your body cam footage, sir, but thank you for disrespecting me. Psychopath. Officer Fanone, how are you today?
Oh, I'm great.
What happened?
Such an idiot. Just boggles my mind. They keep trotting him out. I hope they keep doing it because it just ends poorly for them every single time. Okay. Zelensky calls Europe lost for trying to change Trump rather than face global threats.
Where are we really? I mean, I think we're kind of where we have always been. I mean, 11 months ago, Zelensky said yes to a ceasefire, temporary, unconditional. And Putin has never agreed to that. And certainly we've been working on the big peace agreement, not the small ceasefire, in all of these months. And he has been the obstacle. And we're reading in the public media that coming out of Moscow, he did not budge on any concessions on the land. But the uniqueness of the meeting in Abu Dhabi in the UAE is that all three parties are participating, the U.S., Ukraine, and Russia together, as opposed to being separate. So if that happens, is there going to be some concessions made there? Remains to be seen. I am highly skeptical. I think Russia is about stalling with negotiations and continuing to stall, promise that we will make a deal. We're real sincere about it. But at the end of the day, no deal. That's where we have been with Mr. Putin.
Oh boy. Tim Walz raising money for his legal defense fund. Already, Tim? Aw. If you're with me, please rush a donation to our legal defense fund and help ensure we can keep fighting for accountability, transparency, and justice. Let's see it. Oh, what a joke. Yeah. Rush a donation to our legal defense fund. We all know what that's going to defend. Very, very quickly here. Won't take long, Tim. Only matter of time now. Okay, Amazon planning a second round of job cuts next week. Oh, there's more where that came from. This is going to be a repeat headline, I think, for the next couple of years with them. They're going to keep incorporating automation tech and just bye-bye. Bye-bye, corporate workers. U.S. Secret Service. Great work by our team and partners on President Trump's trip to Davos. We were excited to build upon our long-lasting relationship with General Motors as we introduced these vehicles to our protective fleet. Oh, cool. They got some new guys. Oh, that is neato. It's like a SUV version of the shorter SUV version of the Beast. It's like got them chunky ass windows. Like it. Okay. Oh, really? Microsoft investigating outage affecting Microsoft 365, Outlook, and other services. Oh, been resolved, I guess. Oh, well. Too bad. Greg Jarrett says dismissing the charges against Don Lemon raises red flags. Oh, you bet. They better get his ass, one way or another.
Rejecting the charges against Don Lemon smells fishy to me. And we may actually learn more about the magistrate's motivations, his bias, his conflict of interest, as Kevin pointed out. Legally, the magistrate would have to have decided that these prosecutors did not meet the standard of probable cause. But, just personally disagreeing with the wisdom or fairness of bringing the case, that's not a valid ground for overriding the charging decision. So, Sean, I thoroughly expect the DOJ to do one of two things here: either bypass the magistrate by going directly to a grand jury for an indictment against Don Lemon, or go to a real district court judge, because, a magistrate is really just a ministerial assistant. He handles misdemeanors and warrants and empties the trash cans. Rejecting the charges against Don Lemon smells fishy to me, and we may actually learn more about the magistrate's motivations, his bias, his conflict of interest, as Kevin pointed out. Legally, the magistrate would have to have decided that these
Negotiations with the U.S. on Greenland to start fairly quickly, says the Danish foreign minister. Luigi Mangione back in court today as suppression hearing gets underway. Oh.
Is what 11 a.m. today, an Altoona, Pennsylvania police officer will testify.
Oh shit! Yeah, I got a Brian Cole hearing coming up here in like 5 days.
In federal court about the procedures used by the department while searching Luigi Mangione's backpack when he was arrested inside of that Altoona McDonald's back in December of 2024. Now, the defense argues that the search and seizure of Mangione's backpack was illegal because police had not yet obtained a warrant. Mangione wants the judge today to bar prosecutors from using key evidence found in the backpack at his trial, including a 9mm handgun, a loaded magazine, a silencer, and a red notebook containing what's been described by prosecutors as a manifesto spelling out his intent to kill a health insurance executive. Now, the defense argues because Mangione was handcuffed and separated from his bag by 10 feet, he did not have immediate control of the backpack, therefore making the search illegal without a warrant. But Judge Margaret Garnett seems skeptical. She was said earlier this month, quote, "I don't think it's really disputed that if you're arrested in a public place, the police are just supposed to leave your personal property. I'm not following the argument that the backpack was not personal property he had with him." Now, prosecutors say a warrant was not needed to search Mangione's backpack because the search was conducted at the time of Mangione's arrest for forgery and providing a false ID.
Interesting.
Officers also had a good faith belief that the bag might contain a bomb or other dangerous weapons, and police argue evidence in his backpack would have been inevitably discovered anyway because back at the police station during an inventory search. Now, Mangione's lawyers guys say that police used this fear of a bomb as a blatantly false justification to search his bag without a warrant. We expect at a later date decisions by this judge about scheduling for this trial. Jury selection could start in September, and we also expect the judge at a later date to decide whether or not the death penalty will in fact be pursued.
Okay, Fox and Friends weekend co-host Rachel Campos Duffy live all morning from the National Mall ahead of the March for Life. Yeah, that's coming up pretty quick here.
Right here in front of the Capitol. Today at 11 a.m., all these marchers are going to start marching on the Capitol towards the Supreme Court. This is the 53rd annual.
I would love to go to this, but
Annual March for Life. It is the
I
largest.
don't know. I got some stuff I want to make sure I get done before the storm hits. I'm gonna go to the butcher. Haven't done that yet. Gotta go to another couple stores too.
Largest human rights march every single year, even though a lot of other networks and a lot of other people ignore it. We never ignore it, but also the Trump administration never ignores it. This will be the second year in a row that J.D. Vance will address the crowd live President Trump was the first president to do that. But even though he's in Davos buying Greenland for us, he's still going to send in a video message. So this is going to be very meaningful for these guys who are out every year braving these crazy temperatures. Right here in front of the Capitol. Today at 11 a.m., all these marchers are going to...
Okay. Mugshots. We got mugshots. Bitch. Hag. Moron. Ugh. Just, ugh. Winner of the genetic lottery right here. Oh. She won the whole pot. Bongino? Is he back?
Do you dipwads even read your own headlines? I mean, are you that stupid? These are these media morons. People who've never spent a day
Get a makeup artist, brother.
Wearing a badge.
Shit.
Never kicked in a door, never arrested some child predator or some bank
I've
robber
never
or some
seen
gang
someone look so shiny.
member. These morons
Did he cover himself in baby oil? Like,
don't know anything about the safety status of the country. Do you dipwads even
I
read
can't
your
even
own
listen to what he's saying.
headlines? I mean, are you that stupid?
I just like get a paper towel or something before you go live. Just, yeah, jeez. It looks so untrustworthy. It looks so bad. Oh my gosh. I like him. I don't understand why he does that. Oh my gosh. It'd be so easy for him to do too. I guarantee he's got the money. Like, he's probably already got the employee, a female who probably can fill in the role. It doesn't need to be that complex for a guy. You just gotta make sure that doesn't happen. That's it. Mat it down. VP Vance on left-wing radicals protecting the arrest of criminal migrants. Yeah, or, wear a hat. Yeah, exactly. Right?
How many more of these do you think we're going to see? We can hear the protesters outside. Yeah. How many more of these do you think you're going to see nationwide?
How many more arrests do we think we're going to see nationwide? I mean, look, I think we have a fraud problem that is much worse in California than it is in Minnesota. I was talking actually to our small business administrator. I think she's found probably $500 million of fraud in Minneapolis and the broader Minnesota area. I think she's found $7 billion worth of fraud in California. So this is unfortunately a problem that is much bigger than Minnesota. But it's also, it highlights how absurd this effort to prevent the immigration enforcement is. If you look at blue states, blue cities, you look at Memphis, Tennessee, not a Republican mayor. You look at red states like Texas, but blue cities like Austin. You do not see this level of chaos over the enforcement of our immigration laws. What you have is a small band of very far left people who are doing everything that they can, up to and including assaulting law enforcement officers and raiding churches, to try to make ICE out to be the ultimate enemy and to kind of engage in this weird small-scale civil war against federal immigration law. It's absurd. It's added a lot of chaos here in Minneapolis, and it's one of the problems why I'm here to fix it.
Oh. Yeah, man. Okay, Floridians stormed the Indian River County zoning meeting to block the construction of a Muslim epic city in Dearborn-style community in Vero Beach. It was filled to the brim, standing room only. Nice. Nice, nice, nice.
15 minutes prior to the meeting starting, the video you're watching, we were there about 20 minutes early, and then boom, everybody came in.
Retirees do not want epic city.
And there were so many people there that it overflowed into the hallway and then outside the facility, because nobody wants to have an epic city, one of these large facilities where Muslims come in.
Heck no, blasting that crap out all day.
They open a mosque, they open schools, they make little civic centers.
Nope.
They start with the nucleus and then they start to spread.
Yeah, then the shitty little restaurants pop up everywhere.
Spread out, and they eventually take over a town, they take over the town government. Before you know it, they're taking over a city, and then you take over a state. You could look at Dearborn, you could look at New York City, you could look at Minnesota. This stuff was happening in Texas. People were going up in arms, and now it's happening in Florida. There is a place called Epic Estates. This guy here tried to downplay it, but keep in mind that before we started the meeting tonight, they elected the chairman of the zoning as a guy named Dr. Day, who is a Democrat. So you tell me what's going on here.
Epic Estates LLC, through several LLCs, owns several large tracts of properties west of I-95 and in River County. They've had 3 pre-application meetings about doing what's called an affidavit of exemption. It's a rural subdivision where they can create 10-acre lots. 2 out of those 3, there are access issues. 1 might be viable. They have not filed any formal applications with the county. There's also been rumors about a new town. None of that has come to fruition. So Epic Estates exists. They are a landowner in the county. We have had preliminary talks about this affidavit of exemptions, which again creates 10-acre lots, which is allowed in the A2.
So they had 3 pre-application meetings. Clearly, there is planning. Now, what these guys don't understand, because they haven't been in the game long enough, is that what happens is that they will take a 10-acre property and they will make it a mosque, or they will make it a school. And then they'll take another 10-acre property and they'll make it into something else. And it may not all be together and next to each other. There may be properties that they don't own in between. But people will get so frustrated with the 5-time call to prayer, so frustrated with seeing people in burqas and all the different other Muslim stuff that goes on that nobody wants. Finally, they'll just sell their property. That's the plan. Squeeze them out, push them out. Do never trust a zoning committee. Never. Somebody is always making money. I remember when I was in New York, they did the same thing. The zoning department, they wound up putting an auction. They got together with local government. They put up an auction for a piece of property. They didn't want anybody to buy this property. It was a couple of houses down from me. It was 12 acres. They wound up having their special meeting. Nobody showed up. They wound up buying the property and turned it into Section 8. So trust me when I tell you, I've been around long enough. I know what the Muslim plan is. They got tons of LLCs. They look shady. He said it himself about all the LLCs. These guys are covering over because they saw the town was out tonight and they knew that people were going to hold their feet to the fire. We showed up tonight. We had a victory. Our victory was, you're not going to build this crap in our backyard, and we are completely prepared. We understand we can't make this a religious thing. We'll make it a zoning thing. And you know what it comes down to? These people who try to push this through, their names will be tarnished for the rest of their life. Their families will be blacklisted. They'll never see the light of day in terms of positivity ever again for the rest of their lives. And people showed up tonight and they took it. They said, oh, it's not on the agenda. My ass. It's right on the tip of your tongue. 3 pre-meetings. Oh, and there's just one parcel for 10 acres, which, you know, it could be used for something, as if you can't put a mosque on there, as if you can't put a school in there. We're not stupid, and we're going to be on you like white on rice. Congratulations to the people of Indian River County tonight for showing up in large numbers. We ain't going away.
Yep. Okay. Elon Musk's fortune soared on Thursday, rising above $785 billion to a new record. On the way to $1 trillion, huh? Won't be long. Jeez. Crazy. Robotaxi fleet would be widespread by year's end, huh? I think we played Patel ousts senior FBI agents linked to Trump probes. Which ones? Who'd they get? Kash Patel's carried out another purge of Bureau's senior ranks, forcing out field office leaders and other senior agents connected to the 2 criminal investigations of Donald Trump. Special agents in charge in Atlanta and New Orleans have been removed, as well as the acting assistant director in charge of the New York field office. Okay. No names, but some positions. Federal judge appears skeptical of DOJ's argument for White House ballroom. What's their argument? Judge said he plans to decide in February, but left little doubt what way he was leaning. White House could build bunker under new ballroom? Well, hey, why not? May as well. Okay, federal judge appears to be leaning towards hitting the pause button. Surprise, surprise. Judge Richard Leon did not rule from the bench on Thursday, promising a decision next month, but his comments during arguments left little doubt about which way he's leaning. Attorney Thad Hare, representing nonprofit National Trust for Historic Preservation, a group that works to protect U.S. historic sites, argued that the president does not have the constitutional authority to tear down the East Wing of the White House and construct a ballroom. He is not the owner of the White House. He's the steward. Okay. And now he's stewarding it into being better with a big ballroom. Well, we'll see how that goes. If constipation had a face.
The best way to address affordability, if you will.
Yeah, that fits.
Is to end this Liberation Day season of unilateral tariffs against friend and foe alike. I hold the view that the president's use of that authority is constitutionally questionable. I'm hopeful the Supreme Court will overturn the president's use of the tariff authority under the emergency statute. But there's no question when you look at the numbers that Bloomberg does better than anybody else in this economy.
You hear something?
What's clear is that after 6 months of these tariffs imposed on some of America's leading trading partners, that American businesses and American consumers are paying American tariffs. We see the negative impact on jobs. We see the inflation, although they boast that it's not as bad as it used to be. The fact is that the reason why affordability has made its way into the political conversation is because the American people see it at the grocery store, and they're feeling it as consumers.
I mean, I've certainly felt the last 4 years. I've already noticed a marked difference in the last year compared to those 4. We are absolutely improving, Mr. Pence, despite your apparent desire to believe otherwise. I don't know why that would be. Jane Fonda went on Colbert and said that American citizens are being deported. American citizens. Oh, really, ma'am?
If the government...
Like who?
Is not meeting the needs of its people, there's something wrong, right? We're seeing things happen that have never happened.
Unless, of course, you're white, Christian, and from a flyover state.
Happened before. This isn't like it was in the 40s and 50s. This is authoritarianism has made its way into every single nook and cranny of our government. They are kidnapping people. They are illegally deporting American citizens.
Going into American citizens' homes without warrant.
Minneapolis, where they shot Miss Good. They're shooting people. They're blinding people. All kinds of really, really
What?
bad things.
They're shooting and blinding people, really? You want to provide some evidence of that?
Happening, and it's not a question of right or left. I don't care what party you belong to.
Yes, it is. It's precisely on those lines.
It's a question of right or wrong, right?
Yeah, that also happens to kind of fall on the same lines.
And I think lines are being crossed, and it's enough. Yeah. If the government is not meeting the needs of its people,
Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger declined to appear before the State Senate Ethics Committee on Thursday. How ethical. Amid growing legal and political disputes over the Trump admin's demands for the state's voter data. I wonder why they would want to prevent him from getting that. ICE says it's taken hundreds of dangerous immigrants off the streets in Minnesota. You bet.
ICE says it has taken hundreds of dangerous migrants off the streets here in this region. It also accuses state and local law enforcement officials of interfering with immigration enforcement, even letting some suspects go free. Now, CBS News has reviewed state records that suggest some of those alleged criminals were already in prison or under state law enforcement supervision. And Minnesota's top corrections official, his name is Paul Schnell. We spoke with him yesterday. Seemed genuinely astonished by the Trump administration's claim that the state is releasing criminals. Does it feel like the Department of Homeland Security is lying when it says that state authorities are not cooperating?
It is fundamentally false. We cooperate with ICE and ICE detainers. We have, as a matter of policy, done that for a long, long time.
As ICE raids have unfolded across the Twin Cities, the Trump administration has accused state leaders of protecting the worst of the worst.
The best solution is to turn them over to us in a safe, controlled setting like a jail or prison.
But Minnesota Corrections Commissioner Paul Schnell says that's already common practice.
As they
no, it is not.
Approach their release date several weeks before, our staff coordinates directly with the local ICE office. Staff do this on a routine basis. They make arrangements for the transfer of custody of that individual.
For months, the Department of Homeland Security has released lists of mugshots. Alleged criminals, it says, were seemingly tracked down and arrested by ICE. But Schnell told us that's not completely true.
These are people they're in our system or have been in our system, but they were released.
These worst of the worst criminals weren't swept up by ICE on city streets.
No, they were released to ICE.
In one example, Schnell said his department turned these two state prisoners over to immigration officials on January 12th. The next day,
two of them
both appeared in a DHS press release highlighting people who'd been arrested in ICE operations. That same release also claimed state leaders, quote, will not let us into their jails.
Coordinated that transfer of custody, and the next day they showed up on a DHS list of among
the worst
these people,
of the worst list.
Among the worst of the worst. And yet, exactly what should have happened, happened.
You say you need it to stop.
We need them to stop telling stories that are simply untrue.
So because two guys made it where they were supposed to make it, somehow that just wipes the slate clean and means you've done nothing wrong ever?
That we will and do coordinate on the transfer of custody of people who are subject to ICE detainers, and will continue to do that, period.
We should add that Minnesota Corrections said they didn't even have criminal records for some of the alleged felons that ICE says they've arrested.
A bizarre argument to make. a desperate one, I think. More like. Rep. Anna Polina Luna threatens to shut down the floor if the Senate refuses to pass the SAVE Act. Upon returning to D.C., I'm in full favor of shutting down the floor by any means possible. I'm not going to play games, especially after that half of the Republicans in both the House and the Senate are concerned about their reelection, and I'm definitely not going to let them use the president's agenda as a shield to hide their spineless tendencies. Okay. Bovino here must be being asked about the part where he had to chuck some tear gas.
Only necessary when violence is committed. This clip has gone around the world. At one point today, I looked up, I saw it playing on 3 different cable news channels of you personally throwing a tear gas canister. Take a look.
I'm in the gas. Get back. Gas is coming. Gas on Bill. Gas on Bill. We're filming you. Gas on Bill, Bovino. Gas on Bill. You just gassed me.
To you, what does that clip show?
Sure. Well, what J.D. Vance, the vice president, said, he said it very well. If you look at that clip, what you see directly behind me are Border Patrol agents that had just been assaulted. One of them was spit on. As that individual that spit on a Border Patrol agent was taken into custody, several other suspects came in and tried to intervene physically, both body checking Border Patrol agents as well as physically wrestling with Border Patrol agents to try to free the original suspect that spit. That, with a chaotic situation, objects being thrown, agents being boxed in by vehicles, it was probably past the time for myself to deploy that less lethal munition.
Yep.
And that term less lethal is just that, less lethal. If we didn't have less lethal, what would we be left with? I think that's a question that a lot of these media, and they seem to leave that out. Do they want fisticuffs and guns? Or do we want to use less lethal to keep people safe, to keep our officers safe? And that's what we did in that particular instance. And guess what? It worked.
Yep,
the crowd dispersed.
I've been in enough tear gas. I've been in enough tear gas, Commander. I understand that.
Oh, come on. Okay, where did it put us here? Scrolled us way down. Weird. Okay, there we go. Bingo. 5 arrested in connection with shooting of Indiana judge and his wife. 5 people. Whoa. What the hell happened here? Okay. Arrested a Raylan Ferguson, Thomas Moss, and Blake Smith. Arrested on charges of attempted murder in the first degree and conspiracy to commit murder. Oh, they didn't actually kill him, huh? Both victims in stable condition following the attack. Judge was injured on an arm and his wife on her hip. So what were they trying to kill him? Oh, gangs. They're in a gang, huh? Gang enhancement. Interesting. Wonder why they did it. Just a robbery gone wrong. Russia, Ukraine, and the U.S. set to hold first trilateral talks since the start of the war. When is that happening? It's in the UAE.
It is.
Shut up. When and where? Maybe not known yet. Will take place in Abu Dhabi. Won't include heads of state. Okay, it's going to be shit. Going to be Witkoff and his equivalent. All right. Drug network, including a beauty salon sanctioned for allegedly trafficking cocaine to the U.S. through Costa Rica. Beauty salon, huh? Jeez. So how did the beauty salon play in? A beauty salon called Magic Aesthetic Salon, linked to alleged drug trafficking and money laundering, of course. Gotta launder that money somehow. Why not with beauty products? Don Lemon glibly reacting to Minnesota judge saving his ass from the DOJ for now.
Look, I stand proud and I stand tall. This is not a victory.
Yeah, and really, really gay too.
Victory lap for me because it's not over. They're going to try again and they're going to try again. And guess what? Here I am. Keep trying. That's not going to stop me from being a journalist. You're not going to diminish my voice. Go ahead, make me into the new Jimmy Kimmel if you want.
That's not something to aspire to. I don't think by any metric, by anyone's.
Because I'm not going anywhere and I'm going to believe the same things, whether you want to, whatever. None of this is about justice. This is about power, and it's about people who are incompetent. Look, I stand proud and
okay. Up to 25% of U.S. colleges may close soon, Brandeis president warns. Higher education approaching a period of profound disruption. Many colleges may not survive. Yep. Not looking good. But they've no one to blame but themselves at this point. Videos going viral showing Walmart shelves wiped out across multiple states as shoppers panic ahead of the winter storm. Oh, fuck. I should have gone to the butcher days ago.
And winter storm frenzy here in central Oklahoma City. All the eggs are completely out.
Oh my gosh.
Breakfast meat.
Oh my gosh.
Everything. Lunch cheeses and lunch meat completely out. Even almost all of the meat here is completely just annihilated. And this is in every single grocery store here in the Oklahoma City metro. This is wild. Aisle here in Oklahoma City just
oh my
vanquished.
gosh.
It's gone.
I hear the train a-coming. It's rolling around the bend. And I ain't seen the sunshine.
Y'all, I just don't even understand. This is in North Carolina, so we may get a foot of snow. I think that's kind of our worst case scenario. If we do, what's going to happen? We might lose our power. We might not be able to go on the road for a day or two. Like, a couple days tops. Why do you go and buy a month's worth of groceries so now I can't even get my kids our regular food for the week? It's ridiculous. Like, am I missing something? Is there like a zombie apocalypse coming?
Who knows, ma'am, these days?
I'm pretty sure you guys have heard about what's going to happen here in Texas with the winter storm that is supposed to get here this weekend. Well, this is Walmart right now. Mind you, it is Wednesday. This is not supposed to happen till the weekend. But everybody already came and grabbed their stuff, and there's hardly anything left, honestly. So I don't know why this happens every time. Can someone tell me why?
Okay, residents in Oxford, Missouri. Where's that, Mississippi? I always forget. The same shit. Completely dead empty. My God. Hey, at least there's coffee creamer. Gross.
It's cold out here, but people are still excited to walk on this 53rd March for Life. And as you said, we're here with Kristen Hawkins and also Sarah Hearn. So let's start with you, Kristen. There's an important piece of legislation that's been on the Hill, and you've been talking about it. Tell us about it.
Sure. Students for Life's model legislation, the Pregnant Students' Rights Act, actually passed last night at the House of Representatives. It's a very simple bill, Rachel. All it says is federally funded colleges must tell pregnant and parenting students their rights to know, so no woman knows or thinks that she ever has to have an abortion in order to complete her education. And it's so simple. Sadly, though, only one Democrat voted with us for this bill. It heads to the Senate now. But this is something that needs to happen because nearly 7 in 10 Gen Z and Gen Y voters support some restrictions on abortion. But if they believe that there's more support for pregnant and parenting families, 34% want to see even more restrictions. And so we're talking about creating a pro-life culture and ending abortion once and for all. We have to start showing Americans and showing women that we care more and that we have the resources and that we have the support. But being on college campuses, I can tell you, far too young women even know they have support resources.
Yeah, our own Dr. Nicole Sapphire was pregnant, and it was a single woman pregnant and had her got her medical degree at the same time. It is possible to do both. I'm here with Sarah Hearn. You have an incredible story. Tell us about it as quickly as you can.
Yeah, when I was 26 years old, I found out I was pregnant with my 4th child. And when I turned to the father for support, he told me, 26 years old, 4 kids, 3 different dads, that doesn't look good. So I went for a chemical abortion. And as soon as I took that first medication in that protocol, I immediately regretted it and would do anything to save my baby.
So you started Googling.
I started looking online and found an abortion pill reversal hotline. And I called them, and the sweetest voice answered. She connected me with a local doctor, and I was able to reverse the chemical abortion that I had started.
Nice. And how's that little baby doing now?
Oh, he's great. He just turned 7, and he is full of life, like Spitfire, unapologetically full of life.
So what's interesting is this is Sarah's
What a great
first
story.
March for Life. She's been wanting to come for a while, and now her first March for Life, she's the keynote speaker. What a great story.
Oh, wow.
We love
That is so cool.
this story, and such a message of hope and life. Really quick, Kristen, there's a lot of people in the media and in women's studies departments, their heads are exploding because of this MAGA baby boom. Carolyn Levitt, Usha Vance, both pregnant. What is going on?
Well, I think they're showing that they're not really pro-choice. They're pro-abortion. And that's why you're seeing their heads explode at the audacity of our second lady to have a 4th child. And I think that's so out of touch with this generation who wants to have kids, who wants to get married. And that's why we're honored today. We're standing here in honor of my good friend Charlie Kirk, who was one of the ringleaders of this. I would say MAGA baby boom. And we're speaking for this generation that's demanding more. And that's why the bill yesterday, the Pregnant Students' Rights Act, is so important, because this generation gets it, right? We're told that we're women, we can do whatever we want to do. We can get pregnant, we can get married, we can graduate college, and we can have a career.
This is a cool story. All right. 1 second here. Oh, come on. There you are. There we go.
Them, this is about America first and our ability to save their asses. As Trump said at Davos, you'd all be speaking German if it weren't for us, which really pissed off the French, once they had it translated into Arabic. But this is why, perhaps, that Europe often badmouths us. Nothing bothers the Euro elite like the fact that they owe us. That stupid conference exists to make powerful people in parkas feel superior to the country that makes them look small. And Trump walked in and reminded them that they're not superior or not even our equal. He didn't go there to apologize or to blend in or to be lectured. He went there to say 2 words, "You're welcome," and then added 3 more, "Now pay up." Them, this is about America first and our ability to save their asses. As Trump said at Davos, you'd all be speaking German if
Oops, hold on. Oh, this guy, yeah. Ex-superintendent of Iowa's largest school district has pleaded guilty to falsely claiming to be a U.S. citizen after ICE arrest. Oops. Yeah, that guy, Ian Roberts, a native of Guyana in South America. You remember this? Soar up and down, U.S. citizen. You're all freaking out about it. Nope. That's funny. Whoa. Video captures Detroit student allegedly wielding a box cutter in a classroom chase. A box cutter? As a teacher intervenes.
Oh, man, because she be having good.
Is that a pocket knife? She had a pocket knife. She had a pocket knife. She had a knife. She has a knife. She got a knife. She just takes Jada around the room with a knife. I don't know. She takes Jada around the room with a knife. I gotta know.
Unbelievable, man. So tired of this stuff.
This one.
You saw that one. Crazy. Okay, horrific smear pushed by the media and anti-ICE activists. What do we got?
And this is a horrific smear that we're seeing the mainstream media and politicians on the left, including Kamala Harris, take and run with. The facts are actually that this little boy was abandoned by his own father. His own father was being approached by ICE agents when he ran and abandoned the child. Our law enforcement in these frigid temperatures stayed with the child, tried to bring him into custody with the mother, who actually would not take the child into custody, which is so sad, so horrific. Our law enforcement officers actually were taking care of the child, brought him to McDonald's, were playing his favorite music to really calm him down. This is, Asmark, there's major riots forming around our law enforcement officers. That is horrendous that the child is having to face this, but our law enforcement officers were taking care of him, and he's now reunited with his father in a federal processing facility. And this is a horrific smear that we're seeing the mainstream media and politicians on the left, including Kamala Harris.
Okay. Drone footage captured pancake ice rolling over waves on Lake Michigan. Wow. Weird. That's cool. Kash Patel scheduled to hold a press conference in Ontario, California this morning, announcing an update in a major investigation. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police Commissioner is listed as a participant. Something tells me this is going to be fraud related. Just a guess. We'll see. Fraud in New York. Speaking of, massive Medicaid fraud scheme in New York led to 2 key players pleading guilty after admitting to stealing $68 million through cash kickbacks and false claims. Which one's this one?
So more fraud.
Is this the AI scheme?
Taxpayer money stolen.
Yeah, 2 key players in a massive New York Medicaid fraud scheme now admit guilt, accused of cash kickbacks, fake services, and tens of millions in false claims. Newsmax crime correspondent Jason Matera has all of the details for us. He is live this morning. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, Mark and Charlotte. So this scheme went largely unnoticed amid a flood of fraud cases making headlines. But when you break down the numbers, the scale of what took place over a 7-year period is off the charts.
We are seeing a unprecedented level of fraud.
Elaine Antow and Manal Wasif have both pleaded guilty to conspiring to defraud Medicaid. Prosecutors say the amount of taxpayer money they helped steal is staggering, $68 million.
There are providers of social adult daycare services that instead of rendering services, they are not providing a service, and instead they're giving a cash bribe or a kickback to beneficiaries to use their information.
According to the indictment, Antow and Wasif paid cash bribes to Medicaid recipients to steer them in the direction of 2 Brooklyn-based adult daycare centers and 1 home health service between 2017 and 2024. Prosecutors say the 2 then took kickbacks themselves for those referrals and kept the fraud running by generating false claims, fake attendance records, and billing for services that were unnecessary or never delivered at all.
There are incidences in which Medicaid beneficiaries were actually out of the country when there was billing that was conducted.
Antow and Wasif were not running this operation on their own. Authorities say 5 other defendants have already pleaded guilty to Medicaid fraud, including Zakia Khan, the owner of the companies at the center of the scheme. Investigators say Khan and her co-defendants used a web of business ventures to disguise and move the illicit payments. Federal agents say they've already seized millions of dollars from this cash kickback fraud network, including bank accounts, jewelry, real estate, and luxury vehicles, all siphoned from a Medicaid program meant to care for sick and vulnerable patients in financial need.
The problem with fraud is that it really jeopardizes the resources that are available for those that are sick or that they need assistance.
The defendants are facing up to 10 years in prison at sentencing. But Mark, Charlotte, this case is worth remembering the next time progressives lose their minds over proposals to tighten eligibility rules.
What? Zoltan Mamdani says New York City kids can forget about a traditional snow day on Monday, no matter the forecast. Huh? Public school students can at best hope for remote classes early next week as the Opal Lee, grandmother of Juneteenth, honored with a new Barbie doll. What? A Juneteenth Barbie doll? Oh my goodness. More of this in Congress. How nice. Bree Fram, who was in the Air Force and Space Force before Trump forced him out of the armed forces, now running for Congress to take over Jerry Connolly's seat. Yeah. No. How about no?
In terms of violent crime and overdoses, you got homicides are down 21%.
from 2024. Carjackings down 43%. And overdoses from 2024 down 20%. I mean, these numbers are indisputable, and it's happening in the places where it's worse, and that is major cities.
Yeah, the largest one-year drop on record. Well, what happened in 2025? We had a new administration come in office. They really cracked down on crime. Let's give you some examples. In Baltimore, they had the highest homicide numbers before COVID, and they had a decrease of 60% last year in 2025. That is a record low for Baltimore. Salt Lake City, Chattanooga, and El Paso, all with populations under 1 million, each saw their homicide rates, murder rates, cut roughly in half between 2019 and 2025. So this is a think tank. It's called the Council on Criminal Justice. And they went across, or they looked at 40 different cities and noticed that they're seeing statistics dropping. Overall, murder rates have dropped more than 20%.
Okay, Roche Genentech more than doubles North Carolina facility investment to $2 billion. Not bad. Come on now. Oh my goodness. Jeez. That's slow as heck. There we go. Chairman Loudermilk sends a second letter to Carlin Younger. Oh boy. Okay. The individual who discovered the first pipe bomb near the RNC on January 6th, requesting a transcribed interview before the select subcommittee. Ms. Younger apparently never responded to the letter that was sent on December 8th. Well, is she alive? I'm just saying, is she? Where is she? Has anyone bothered to look? I want to check on that. Like, seriously, who knows who, like, if, God forbid, if she was mixed up in some kind of something, who knows who could have, like, wanted to take her out if someone was getting too close for comfort. Who knows? Who freaking knows, man? She certainly ran in that world, dark world. Leftists in Minnesota now enacting a statewide shutdown so people can protest ICE.
Today, activists are planning for a major rally and a march here downtown as part of a statewide shutdown that they're calling a day of truth and freedom, with no work, no school, and no shopping, so folks can come out and focus on protesting ICE.
Got it. Okay, Garrett, we'll get you back inside there. Chilly there in Minneapolis. We'll watch it throughout the day. Thank you much. Sandra?
Today, activists are planning for a major rally and a march here downtown as part of a statewide shutdown that they're calling a day of truth and freedom, with no work, no school, and no shopping, so folks can come out and...
There's been a lot of buzz about young conservatives and what they actually believe. So I talked to 6 of them to hear directly from the source.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I asked them what the biggest misconceptions are about young conservatives like themselves.
Gen X, Gen Z really want to see the same thing over and over again. They're used to concrete ideas, and if you don't allow growth to happen, you're not going to see a lot of great things happen as well. So you're going to want to open your mind. We are eager to learn, eager to grow.
I see this shift towards this like Fuentes, Candace Owens, very alt-right, almost like conspiracy theory crowd or branch of conservatism now. So I do think, unfortunately, that those stereotypes are true, but not everybody is like that.
This whole thing that everybody's becoming Catholic and like, you know, church attendance and whatever, that's just not true, not borne by the data. Like, go to church and stop reading the news and tell me what's the truth.
We're not racist. We're not sexist. We're not transphobic. We don't just vote conservative or feel these things because our parents do.
We all tend to be monolithic and we all support Donald Trump a million % of the time, or that we tend to be more extreme when, you know, when we have guys like Fuentes and, even to some extent the Turning Point USA, which I was a fan of at one point before I started educating myself better on conservatism. Because right now they seem like a mega church more than a conservative activist organization.
I was born in 2004, which means at 4 years old, my family had to deal with the 2008 financial crisis. When I was in high school, dealt with the pandemic. In college, AI is now taking over and disrupting the market. And as I'm on the job hunt, there's huge indicators that, I may not find a job. And this is not even including the fact that perhaps in 5 to 10 years, I would like to purchase a home or I want a family.
Yep.
It's not that we're, our passions are too high and we're young, so we don't know. Is that we feel the urgency and we know that something needs to change.
Indeed.
How's it going? Thank you.
Wait, so Congressman, in the last 2 weeks, you repeated AOC's talking points on Venezuela, and Jasmine Crockett has retweeted you. When will you change your party affiliation to Democrat?
Oh, this is old. It's a good one, but it's old. Yeah, that's from a couple weeks ago. Vaxcyte announces it's hiring new manufacturing employees following its $1 billion investment in North Carolina. Vaxcyte. No. I'm gonna go no. Melania Trump will ring the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange on the 28th. Oh boy. Somali migrant in Minnesota tries to finger wag his way out of an ICE arrest. Oh, they love doing this. The in-your-face, nasty freaking attitude.
I'm standing right here. Do not pepper spray.
Smug bullshit. Yeah, there's a little pepper spray, bitch. How's that? How's that taste?
I'm standing right here. Do not pepper spray.
Point that finger at me again. Point it again. Oh, there you go. Oh.
Get out the fucking car. Get on the ground. There's a mother right there, man. That's a mother right there. What are you guys doing? My eyes. Do you guys not care about human morality? Is this what you guys do?
Did you listen? Put your hand back. Next time, I needed water. I'm a U.S. citizen. You didn't get out the car.
Why did you have to get off the car? To ask your questions.
I asked you to comply with me. I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm a U.S. citizen.
She doesn't speak English, man. Don't talk to her.
She doesn't speak English. Don't talk to her, man.
Water. I need water. I need a water. That's my brother, man. Come on. Man. I need a water. Look at the mom, man.
Ridiculous.
I'm a U.S. citizen.
Didn't speak English, but she sure knows how to act.
I'm a U.S. citizen. I can tell you about that. Everything. You got water? I need a water. I need a water. What was the reason for stop? I need a water.
Oh, where'd the wailing go? Oh, she's distracted with her cell phone. She had to. She couldn't She can't walk and chew gum at the same time. She's got a 65 IQ. Being generous.
I'm a U.S. citizen. I need a water.
Can't do that.
You guys don't have to spray her, right? The pepper spray, right?
Oh, she's done on her phone, and now she's back.
He's picking up his mom from work. He's picking his mom from work.
So fucking tired of these people. Pardon me. Can't wait to see them gone. Back home they go. CNN was just forced to report Chuck Schumer is the most unpopular Democrat leader in 40 years.
From their own
Well, no surprise there. He's utterly unlikable.
party on record. It's only beat by what we saw earlier on in this Congress when it was 61%. There's basically been no improvement. Democrats hate their own congressional leaders. These numbers are awful, awful, awful.
This is Democrat on Democrat crime, in a manner of speaking.
You
here.
got it.
Why?
Why is there Democrat on Democrat crime? And it just simply comes down to this. They don't think their leaders are fighting enough. Dems who say congressional Dems are doing too little to oppose Donald Trump. In February of 2025, it was 73%. Now that number is up to 78%. Democrats want fighters in Congress, and at this point, they do not believe that the Democrats in Congress are fighting enough to oppose President Trump's agenda.
Any difference between the House and Senate leaders?
Yeah, okay, so this is, I think, the very key nugget going on. Who are they taking their anger out on? It's not Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic leader in the House. It's the Democratic Senate leader, Chuck Schumer. You know, you go back to January 2025, you see Jeffries' net favorability rating was at plus 22. It's actually slightly higher now, plus 29. But look at Schumer. Look at Chuck Schumer. He was on the positive side of the ledger. And again, this is among Democrats. He was at plus 11. Now he's underwater at minus 2. I went back and I looked at every single Democratic Senate leader. I looked at all the polling I could. He polls the lowest for any Democratic Senate leader among Democrats dating back in the last 40 years.
So to what end? I mean, what are the prediction marks?
Senate gearing up for another Schumer shutdown. Ah! Oh boy. Posted by the White House about an hour ago. Chairman Comer widens investigation into fraud in Minnesota's social services programs. Oh, it's going to be so bad. Very good. All right. Well, we're at the top of the pile here. Let's go back to some of the stuff we brushed over. Oh, I think I tagged it. The H-1B thing or Trump last night. What is the H-1B thing? It was interesting reporting. I like original reporting. Let's see it.
I just have some questions about the H-1B visa workers that you have here. Quibbitz Technology.
Can I call cops?
So are the workers in here?
Hey, somebody is knocking on my door and then they are like threatening me.
I'm not threatening you, sir.
Please, can you help me?
I was just asking if you knew, if you had ever met the person who lives here.
I haven't, and I'm speaking to them, but please.
Can you tell me what you've seen? That she's seen some shady stuff go down and she has a family and she doesn't want to be involved. So whatever is happening really stinks.
If you thought Somalian daycare fraud was a problem, it turns out that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole new problem that it turns out is taking tens of thousands of jobs away from Americans and changing our communities forever that you probably haven't even thought of. I'm talking about H-1B visas. See, it's not just illegal immigration that's the problem. It's actually the legal immigration system. People are using it, exploiting it, and rigging the game in their favor. We've just uncovered a scheme where thousands of foreigners are being brought into this country, imported here, using the laws already on the books, and using phony businesses and these like shell companies which sponsor them for visas. Check this out.
All right, we're heading over to a company called 3Bs Technologies. Now, there were actually 27 H-1B visas approved in 2022 through 2025 for this particular company. The jobs include a software developer, software engineer, IT project manager. So I'm thinking like very high-tech hub for 3Bs Technologies. Let's see what we find out. Are we sure? Do we have the right address here? This is 27 H-1B visas for this location, and it's a residential home. Okay, 130 Darbon Lane, Irving, Texas, 75039. This is the address that's on here, so would have 27 H-1Bs. Let's see, all right. Okay, the doorbell's broken. Not even looks like they boarded up the window. Hello? I'm looking for 3Bs. Hello? So very strange. 3Bs Technologies is at a house, as it turns out, and the Ring doorbell's broken, so I can't even press it. They're probably watching me right now because they've got security cameras all over the place. No one at the door. No sign of life for the 27 H-1B workers at 3Bs Technologies.
So we started looking into this issue because we saw a bunch of chatter happening online about H-1B visas and the scam that was happening. And there was a lot of information that was misplaced in these videos, or just some things that they got a little bit wrong. So I think it's worth pausing here to just explain how H-1B visas work. The way H-1B visas work is that a business will file a posting called an LCA, basically saying they have a job that needs to be filled from a person with a special set of skills, and they just can't find Americans to fill that job. This is the critical first legal step. Think of it as like the foundation of the H-1B petition. Once that LCA is certified from the Department of Labor, the H-1B application can be filed. The company offers to sponsor a visa for a foreign worker and apply to the government via the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. And then USCIS issues a visa for that person so they can come to the U.S. and work. But here's the thing. Considering all you really need to create a business is an address and some paperwork being filed, it's pretty easy to just set up a business, say, from a home address. Then you can just say you have a bunch of jobs that need to be filled there and sponsor a bunch of visas. That way, all your buddies can get granted those visas and come on over to America. So there's one of two things happening here with 3Bs Technologies. Either this house is a major tech hub, or it's being used as a front to sponsor visas. We decided to ask the neighbors what they've seen.
Hi, how are you?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm good. I just had a quick question for you. Do you know who lives at the house next door?
Next door?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the owner, yes.
You do?
Uh-huh.
Do they actually live in the home?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just trying to find out more information about the company that they have.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I know who live there. I know
So
the
that
family, but I don't know their.
I see. So there's a family who lives there.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. Do you ever see any like workers coming in and out? No. None. Just a family.
Yeah.
We're just trying to find out more about some of the companies that are bringing in a bunch of H-1B visa workers. And yeah, so I was just.
Anything about that.
Okay. Okay.
I just know the family live there.
Yeah.
He's my neighbor.
Yeah.
But I don't know what he's working for.
Okay.
And what is the company? I don't know anything.
And do you ever see like a bunch? Is there a lot of traffic coming in and out of there? No. Okay. They pretty much keep to themselves.
I think that I just know the boys, they play around.
Okay. Oh, I see. So they have young boys.
Yeah, just family.
I
That's
see.
all I know.
I see. Just a family
Sorry
that
for
lives
nothing
there.
else.
No. That was actually very helpful. I appreciate you answering. So, ma'am, just really quick. I'm not selling anything. I literally just have a question for you. I was just asking if you knew if you had ever met the person who lives here.
I haven't, and I think that
Well, I'm trying. Hey, listen, hold on, please. I mean you no harm. I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm literally just trying to expose fraud.
I understand.
Can you tell me what you've seen?
I'm on work calls and I can't deal with it.
Can you just tell me what you've seen?
I'm on work calls and I can't deal with it right now.
Okay, is there a better time to come back and speak with you?
Not really, because I have nothing and I don't want to be involved.
Jeez. That's how people are, man.
I haven't.
Well, you've seen some shady stuff go down then. I mean, what are we talking here? I'll blur your face. I will blur everything. I just want to.
Not her house.
We're just trying to get to the bottom of it. Please, can we just come back? Okay, so this neighbor is obviously terrified to tell
Boy.
tell me what's going on.
I
She
think that it was a little overboard, my dear.
just said multiple different
Clearly
times
did not want to talk.
that she's seen some shady stuff go down and she has a family and she doesn't want to be involved. So whatever is happening here at 130 Darbon Lane for 3B's Technologies really stinks. Right, I think it's safe to assume that this business is not being run out of the home that we just visited. But when you go to this company's website, it now says, after they've scrubbed the page, that their address is 7300 Lone Star Drive, Suite C200 in Plano, Texas. Even though in certain places on their website, it still says Darbon Lane, which seems kind of odd
So many tech companies like this, man.
for like this
They're all
high-tech,
over here too. All run by Indians too.
highly skilled workers that they wouldn't even understand how to edit a website properly. So we decided, let's come check out the second address and see what we find. 7300 right here. Fun fact, right here, you see ebb and flow. I actually crashed their all ages drag brunch and basically ruined their entire lives when I exposed them.
They're delicious. They are delicious. Yeah, they are delicious. It is unisex. It's unisex. All genders.
Okay. What in the world? So 7300 Lone Star Drive. Okay. Clearly under construction. Oh, Legacy Club. Let's see if 3B's Technologies is anywhere to be found. This is a little alarming. Okay, there's literally no one here. It's an unfinished building. We've got a faucet, sink, countertop. Look at this. There's nobody here. This has just been sitting here collecting dust, clearly under construction. Not a soul to be found, especially conveniently not the 27 H-1B visa workers that claim to work in this location. It's nothing. This is just nothing. There's nothing here. There's one more level. So let's look at this. There's dust all over the steps. There's clearly construction going on. This is not even a operational building yet. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. This is an unfinished, there's nothing here. It's under construction. The entire place is under construction. Where is 3B's Technologies? Look at this. Caution, danger, hard hat area. There are no companies officing out of this location. This is nuts. So when you search this specific address, it used to be tied to an old WeWork location. It is now tied to a place called the Legacy Club. That tracks with what we see right here, where it says Legacy Club Plano. Now, what this is, when you go online and look for it, is a members-only social club that is supposed to be available early 2026. They've got the renderings for it right here. This is just supposed to be a social club. I still don't understand why a technology company would put their address as a members-only social club that doesn't even exist yet.
So we did a little digging into 3B's technologies and the person who lives in the house and was tied to the visas. His name is Vamsi Krishna Vaginapalli, which, yes.
Wait, what? Hold up. Oh my God, it actually is Vaginapalli.
Yes, you heard me correctly. I don't make the names, I just read them. And let me tell you, Vaginapalli has some explaining to do because there is a shocking amount of potential fraud that we've just uncovered. So the address listed on their website that we just visited is actually an old WeWork location. You know, those like co-working office spaces for virtual workers to work remote with their other companies. And interestingly enough, the business, which is still listed as active, by the way, on the Texas Business Registry, its address is another WeWork location. Why are we bringing people over to work at virtual remote office spaces
The things in their WeWork.
when they can just do the job virtually where they're from? And going through all the jobs that he sponsored, some of the workers were also contracted to other businesses like Verizon, which also raises the question, why is 3B's sponsoring them if they're going to work for other companies? But wait, there's more. The plot thickens because our pal, Vaginapalli, actually filed another H-1B at another business called Kriti Infosystems. So you go to the website and again, I mean, on the surface, it looks like pretty legit. It's got graphics popping up. It's real deal, so it seems, until you start digging more than like 5 seconds when you quickly realize there's something way off. You start scrolling down and notice there's weird coding errors. About us, there's another weird error, which seems weird for a bunch of software engineers to get the coding wrong on a website. Go to the home page and scroll down here. You can actually contact them at their U.S. office in Lewisville, Texas, which obviously is supposed to be Louisville, another error. But when you go to the address actually listed on the website here, it takes you to another virtual office where, once again, anyone can just rent out an office and pretend like they have a business. Over in India, if you'd like to contact them, oh, they've just made up a Vaginapalli complex that doesn't exist. I guess this guy's real high on himself. He wants to name complexes after his incredible last name. Looking at the other addresses here, there's a lot of addresses on their website that just straight up don't exist. Look at their UK corporate office. It's a house. Their other London address in Wimbledon, London, goes to some random Indian tax business called TaxLink. And by the way, coincidentally enough, all of their staff members also Indian. We searched Kriti in the UK Business Registry, and it turns out there's a familiar name there, a reoccurring name. Some more Vaginapallis for you. And the address
Every damn time, dude.
on the visa paperwork is another virtual office.
Yep.
And on top of that, on this paperwork, it shows the worker was
She's doing great work. This is how they do it.
actually subcontracted to a company in Des Moines, Iowa. Another company our old friend is tied to is H2M Infosystems. Now,
This is insane. All right. Well, I just realized we're at the top of the hour here.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want me to finish playing this or?
Yeah, finish playing it. Absolutely. I haven't seen it and I ain't got it. So yeah, finish playing it.
Cool. We'll finish this out then. Here we go.
Now, keep in mind, this is a tech company, but their website was made in WordPress, which I would find to be extremely strange that all of these high-tech guys can't handle a website that's not WordPress.
Yep.
H2M is apparently an award-winning agency here. All right, about us. Integrity, actually, is one of their values, which is ironic. Let's go to careers.
See what's happening there. Join our team. View open positions. Wait, where are the open positions? Curious. Their website also lists a phone number with a Florida area code that doesn't actually go anywhere.
The wireless customer you are calling is not available.
Doesn't exist. All right, there's the location. Let's view it on the map. Oh, look, another WeWork location. A coincidence, I'm sure. Now, he sponsored a visa for this company that was subcontracted out to a United States bank. Is this visa fraud? I don't know. You tell me, but this raises some serious questions about our visa process and the holes that exist that need to be fixed.
Well, you're probably not going to be shocked to hear that 3B's Technologies is not an isolated incident. Here we have Quibbitz Tech Systems, and this company, tech is in the name, so you would think technology, okay? They have filed 13 H-1B visas, and 12 were approved in the year 2025. 1 was denied. So you would expect that at least 12 people were working in this house right here. Let's see if that's the case. Hi. Hi, are you Hari? Yeah. Hi. I was wondering, I was just looking for more information on Quibbitz Technology.
Can I call cops? I can't call.
Yeah, sure. I would love for the cops to come out here. I just have some questions about the H-1B visa workers that you have here.
Right now I cannot talk anything. If you want, I can talk to my lawyer. Thank you.
Okay, so are the workers in here? Are the 12 workers for your company in here? Do they work out of here?
No.
Okay, so what is Quibbitz then? Qubits?
I don't want to talk.
Where are the workers? They're supposed to, USCIS says that they're here.
No.
Yes.
No.
Well, where are they?
They are in my company. I have a company where.
Where's your company located?
If somebody is knocking on my door and then they are like threatening me.
Like threatening me? No.
I'm not threatening you, sir.
Please, can you help me?
I'm literally asking you a question.
3 Promontory Drive.
Great.
Threatening
Texas,
me?
7503.
With what? Consequences for your crimes?
You're engaging in a conversation with me, sir.
Yeah.
Where is your
Dude,
office?
just like shut the door, man. Like, why are you leaving the door cracked? Just go all the way.
Systems.com. You find address.
Can you repeat that? I don't understand. If you don't want to talk to me, just close the door.
Promontory.
It's so bizarre.
Okay. Clearly very freaked out because all I did was ask one question and then he threatens to call the cops. Starts calling the cops as if I'm doing anything wrong and then accuses me of threatening him because I simply asked where the workers are. Very strange. Someone who was operating in good faith and... Yes, please. Are you going to come talk to us or not?
He's still opening the door? This fucking guy. Do it again.
Does this seem like right here? Is this behavior of an individual who's done nothing wrong and is innocent? Is this type of behavior? Does that seem normal to you that you would go to these lengths and get so defensive if you were engaging in legal good behavior? It seems very, very suspicious to me.
Nope. If I was legit, I'd be like, excuse me? No, like my employees are like out on a job here. You can call them like
the audacity.
They're real. Like, shut up.
Actually, the audacity that you are coming here and exploiting my system and using my taxpayer dollars.
I would be overjoyed to shut a lady like this down if I were legit. I would be just. I would have a field day with that. Are you kidding me?
For me, investigating is insane.
So what I hope that this accomplishes is that I want everybody who is exploiting our immigration system to be I want them to be on high alert. I want them to be so scared that someone's going to show up at their door and expose all of the fraud that they're committing that they go home.
As you just heard Hari say, his workers are all at the office. Now that address can be found, as he just said, on his website, QubitsTechSystems.com. It's an Irving, Texas address, so we went out there to check that out, see if Hari was telling the truth. Now, on the surface, you arrive, it's a nice office building, looks legit, a lot of other businesses there. And there it is, Suite 137. Initially, you think, oh, maybe this is actually checking out. Maybe he's telling the truth, until you look in the window and see that it's just a couple of fold-out tables and a single chair. Pretty cramped working quarters for 12 H-1B workers. I'm not buying it. Where are all the workers? All of this information that we've uncovered, it's actually just public information. It's all out there for anyone to go and look for. The reason being that it's meant to be that way to discourage people from carrying out fraud. Once you start scraping data from H-1B databases, you start seeing immediately all of these patterns, clusters of different groups of people, a bunch working at this address, a bunch working here. You get the point, okay? Then you just look up the businesses or addresses to see if they look legit. The biggest question I have right now is if we were able to find this with just a little bit of Google searching and follow-up, why hasn't USCIS done anything to combat this? What are they doing? They're supposed to vet these people before they come into the country. And if a quick glance shows you that this is not legit, why are they being let in? Now, this is just one of the many reasons why we need a moratorium on the H-1B visa. We need to shut it down. We need to figure out how we can fix it before we start letting people into our country again. The disturbing part is we have found so much more rampant abuse and fraud in our area. We're just gonna have to keep exposing it. So make sure you are subscribed to see what we uncover next. If you think that you have uncovered potential visa fraud in your area, email us, sarahtips@blazemedia.com. We can help. We'll see you soon.
Good work. All right. Cool. Thanks for letting me run that out and finish it. How you doing, man?
No problem. Doing great.
Cool.
I've got the president, let's see, the 53rd annual March for Life. So
nice. Yeah,
that's today.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I've got to make it. We should probably. I had all their stuff planned, but I should probably play that. Because it's fresh. So I'm going to pull that over. We're going to start right up with that.
Cool. We'll have a good show then, sir.
Okay. You have a great day.
You know it, brother.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see you.
See y'all.
All right. We're going to see what the president